Hello, Morongo Basin and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. This is your Z107.7 local news for Saturday, April 4th, 2026. If you've never been to a Yucca Valley Town Council meeting before, you may not be aware of the portion of the meeting called public comments. It's basically an open forum where residents can address the town council for 3 minutes on any topic, and it's 100% my favorite part of each meeting. I love listening to people talk about topics that they're passionate about. When I cover the Yucca Valley Town Council meetings, I'm there about 90% of the time, but sometimes scheduling means I have to cover the meeting remotely. At March 17th's meeting, a public comment had me jump into my car and responsibly drive down to the Yucca Valley Community Center in the hopes that I could catch the speaker before he left. I got down there in time, where I met 20-year-old Brett Albone, who was talking with council members about the reason he was down there that night, a new flag that he had designed for the people of Yucca Valley.
Which isn't like an official flag of Yucca Valley, but it's something that is official to the person that flies it in Yucca Valley. So like Cleveland, Ohio, they recently just got a people's flag, and also Milwaukee, Wisconsin has had a people's flag since 2016. I think it could morph into something like that.
I invited Brett down to the Z107.7 newsroom studio to talk about his idea behind the people's flag and what got him into the study of flags in the first place, and we started off talking about what makes a good flag.
Honestly, the representation and symbolism behind it, and how the shapes can mean something, or like the colors in the background mean something. Not like a seal. I personally believe that a seal represents the government and not really the people. It's like if the United States flag was just a blue flag with the seal on it, nobody would feel attached to it. They probably wouldn't fly it as much as they did.
A person who studies flags is called a vexillologist, but a person who designs flags is called a vexillographer. And it's safe to say that Brett can be considered both. There's an underlying design principle about flags. Put simply, a flag should be so simple and memorable that a child should be able to draw it from memory.
If you look at American city flags, it's just a seal, and it's too complicated.
Brett's flag is not too complicated. In fact, I think it's really good, which is what made me jump into my car that evening to go and meet him in the first place. Of course, radio is not a visual medium, but I had Brett pull out his flag so he can describe the design principles behind it.
So the blue represents the sky and the turquoise of the mines around the area of Yucca Valley. And the orange V, it represents rocks and also sand. And the brown represents the mountains and canyons and the valleys of Yucca Valley as well. And the yellow yucca tree in the center, I actually took that from the seal. What's Yucca Valley without the yucca? And that yucca tree represents the people of Yucca Valley. Because I believe blue, orange, and brown and gold is a good color combo for a desert flag.
The flag also features 5 stars that represent Yucca Valley's history, the first representing the Serrano and Chemehueve native tribes, the second star representing the reign of Spain, the third representing the Mexican Empire, the fourth star representing the California Republic, and the 5th star for the United States.
I've had a very overwhelming positivity. At my church, they love it. I love it. You love it.
Town council liked it?
Yeah, and the that lady at the CVS pharmacy, she really liked it. She wants to fly it. And if that's the case, this is probably something bigger than just a people's flag. This could possibly form into something being official and being something that people fly from their houses. I've driven around this town, and there is so many flagpoles with no flags on it. It'd be cool to see them fly it.
You can find a longer version of this interview on our website, where Brett and I talk about some of the flags that we both admire, such as
the American flag.
What do you like about the American flag?
I love how it represents us, the people of America, and I love how it represents our history all the way from Betsy Ross all the way to now. My favorite historical state flag of all time would have to be the original 1901 Maine state flag.
That's a deep cut, which means that you're definitely a vexillologist.
Thank you.
You can find that longer interview and a picture of the people's flag of Yucca Valley all at Z107.7fm.com. The Levitt AMP 29 Palms music series begins at Spring Run tonight with a performance by local singer-songwriter Rosa Pullman. She's opening for another group of locals, the Melancholy Babies, who play Western swing, New Orleans jazz, and popular music from the golden age of American song. The family-friendly and totally free fun begins at 7 p.m. at Freedom Plaza in 29 Palms. The music series continues throughout the spring season with 4 more concerts, and you can find the full lineup at this story at Z107.7fm.com. The concert series is funded in part by grants from the Levitt Family Foundation and Visit 29 Palms. Also happening tonight, a group of musicians and activists are raising awareness on surveillance systems installed in 2 high desert municipalities, and Jeff Harmat spoke to one of the musicians who's put together a show to get the word out. Here's Jeff.
The proposed use of flock systems throughout Yucca Valley and 29 Palms is facing a renewed resistance from the community. Flock Safety describes their products as AI-powered video cameras and license plate readers. This year, concerns have sparked anew about the technology. In the wake of growing large language learning models and immigration and customs enforcement operations, activists have continued to ask questions about with whom and how Flock shares their information. Anti-surveillance activists have been especially vocal about curtailing the technology at town and city council meetings in 2026. One group hopes to raise awareness about the use of flock systems via a concert happening today. One of the concert's organizers, Palo Santo, is a local activist and musician.
It's to build awareness around the flock cameras that are being installed throughout the desert and all across the country. We're just trying to build awareness around it, make sure people are in tune with this, as we believe it's an invasion of privacy under the guise of protection and security. We just see it as excessive surveillance, and we just think people should be aware of it, our neighbors included. The event will have a variety of organizers and live speakers as well as live musicians. We have 4 different artists. We have Redhead Fred, who's from Yucca Man Records. We have the Blank Tapes, who are legendary. We have Slasher City, who's actually coming from the Albuquerque area of New Mexico, and I'll be doing a solo set myself. It's happening Saturday, April 4th, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. It's at our good friends Coyote Run Studio, 3625 Porter Boulevard, Joshua Tree.
Thanks, Palo. You can find some links to some of our recent coverage of flock systems in the Morongo Basin at a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7, I'm Jeff Harmatz.
The biannual Gem and Mineral Show is happening all weekend in Joshua Tree. There you can find rocks, gems, geodes, minerals, crystals, spears, handcrafted jewelry, and other things alongside local vendors. And today there are going to be gold panning demonstrations from our local First Class Miners Club as well. The show is free to enter and it runs through Sunday. It's taking place at the Joshua Tree Lake RV and Campground. That's located at 2601 Sunfair Road right here in Joshua Tree. And Theater 29's production of Cinderella continues this weekend with showings tonight and tomorrow. The Rodgers and Hammerstein musical is a feel-good musical retelling of the famously put-upon stepsister and her magical journey toward a better life. There's a Saturday evening show that may be sold out by the time you hear this, and a Sunday matinee beginning at 2:30. You can check ticket availability or buy tickets for next weekend at theater29.org. And if you've driven along Sunburst Street here in Joshua Tree, you may have likely noticed a brightly painted 2-story house across the street from the old Joshua Tree Elementary School. The recent build has received a spectrum of responses from the high desert community, and reporter Adeline J. Wells sat down with the property owner to learn more about this unique house and the story behind its design.
Orange County resident Armando Estevan first experienced the magic of the Mojave Desert during his youth when he frequented the area on camping trips spent under the stars. Now an adult, Estevan has returned to the Morongo Basin by way of Casa Oaxaca, his passion project of a house built on Sunburst Street in Joshua Tree. Estevan explained that he conceptualized the house to honor his late father, Armando Estevan Sr., a nurse who died during the COVID pandemic.
My dad always wanted to build a place of his own. He was initially an engineer back in Mexico, came out here, became a nurse. I wanted to pay a little bit of tribute just to my Hispanic culture and him and his struggles as far as coming over here. The vision behind this was also something that can continue to give back in his honor.
Estevan purchased the land on Sunburst Street in 2023 and broke ground the following year. Like many investors in recent years, he sought to build a vacation house in the high desert that would also serve as a short-term rental when not in use by his family. The house features a sky-gazing rooftop and artwork on the interior by artist Ignacio Moya. In honor of his late father, Estevan intends to donate a portion of the rental proceeds to support local opioid recovery programs in the Morongo Basin.
It's not something for me to just enrich myself. It's something that I wanted to use part of those proceeds to get back to the community.
Casa Oaxaca is a notable two-story building, differing from the single-story homes more commonly found in the neighborhood and the desert at large. It features a mosaic of Mexican tiles and is landscaped with native desert plants, such as aloe vera and beaver-tail cacti. Casa Oaxaca's most defining feature is an abstract, vibrant mural that spans the north side of the house, painted by artist Ulysses Gonzalez. Estevan explained that the mural, including the depictions of an eagle, snake, and lion, incorporate his Mexican heritage.
It's a Oaxaca-themed style, along with the artworks. It's a little bit on the wild side. It was all inspired after my dad.
While the city of 29 Palms and the town of Yucca Valley both have planning commissions that help dictate the scale and style of developments, Joshua Tree's status as an unincorporated area leaves parameters and enforcement to San Bernardino County. Some of the high desert's iconically colorful properties can be found in Joshua Tree, including the Rainbow House and the Area 55 Futuro House. Casa Oaxaca has been somewhat of a divisive build, garnering varied responses from the community. Some have been supportive of the innovation and unique mural, while others have criticized the two-story build and the intensity of the art and aesthetics.
I think it's easy to be critical sometimes without understanding the backstory behind it. Not everyone's going to like the same type of style or theme. And, I've heard it's so out there, it's so big, or you're disrupting the natural landscape of what we've had here. And I can appreciate that as well.
Regardless of the nature of the feedback, Estevan is grateful to the community for its interest in Casa Oaxaca.
I just want to say thank you to the whole community for being both positive and also critical. We need some feedback and criticism to help. Overall, it's been a great experience, and just hope that this can continue to be something positive for the community. I wish my dad was here to see it.
Reporting for Z107.7 News, this is Adeline J. Wells.
And that's your local news for Saturday. You can hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. More Morongo Basin residents get their local news from Z107.7 than any other source. Reporting alongside the award-winning Z107.7 News team, I'm Robert Hayden.